Hello and welcome from McDonough Park, Joe Salone Field, Game 2, the nightcap of this quasi-doubleheader here from Geneva, New York. I'm Carson Harper, happy to be spending your Thursday evening with you. Geneva took the 10-3 victory in Game 1, and now will look to sweep this doubleheader. On the mound, they will turn to Niagara University righty Carter Fink, and one Purple Eagle will face another with Nick Moneill stepping into the box. Carter Fink from the windup, and we are underway. First pitch misses outside. 7:42. First pitch tonight. 67 degrees and sunny as the sun sets just over the left field wall. That ball is hammered foul. It was in on the hands of Moneill, and the count is 1-1. Moneill leading the team in runs scored at the top of Coach Gabriel's lineup. That number matching the number on his back at 10 runs scored this season. That pitch splits the zone, and the count is now 1-2 strikes to the Tampa, Florida native, Nick Moneill. Had around 20 minutes in between each contest. The 1-2 from Carter Fink is grounded in front of the mound. Carter's going to take it himself, throw it to first base to Ryan Grace in time for the first out here in this contest.
Not batting. Second baseman number 37, Dominic.
So in steps Don Mariani. Let's set the defense for you in Game 2 for the Geneva Red Wings. Outfield, left to right, Trevor Dawsonbach. In left, James Nunnally in center, and Liam Chapman in right. Isaac Vanderwoud at third, Cooper Loyal at short, as that pitch misses outside. 1-0 to Don Mariani in his first at-bat of this contest. Christian Bermudez at second base, Ryan Grace at first, and Zach Butler will be the battery mate for Carter Fink as he catches strike one with one away. To Don Mariani. Fink misses upstairs. Ball 2. 2-1 count to Mariani in his first at-bat of this contest. Carter Fink from not too far away in Victor, New York. 6'2", $180 freshman. Up on the ridge for the Purple Eagles. That pitch misses upstairs, and now the count is 3-2 strikes to Mariani, who will be playing second base today. Fink from the windup, the 3-1 is fouled straight back, and the count is now full for the Walpole, Massachusetts native. Just getting our notes ready as we play here. The whole team's show and go. As we said, the bus got here just around 20 minutes before the first pitch of the first game in the third inning. The 3-2 pitch to Mariani is popped up down the first base line. The right fielder, Liam Chapman, is going to give it a look. He will haul it in and go through the gate down the right field line for the second out here in the top of the first. And that will bring up Vinny Morrow, making the start in this ball game after having the first one off. He, another fellow Purple Eagle, facing Cooper Fink, who got quite a few of innings for the Purple Eagles in his freshman season. First pitch to Morrow is in there for a called strike, a breaking ball. Get me over, get ahead. 0-1 to Vinny Morrow. Fink from the windup, the 0-1 is swung on and missed, a good breaking ball. And now Morrow faces an 0-2 count. Carter Fink gets his sign, fiddles around in his glove, the 0-2. Misses upstairs. Now 1-2. To the Niagara Falls native, Vinny Morrow. As a home plate umpire, just having a conversation with the third base dugout. A 1-2 count to Vinny Morrow with two-way here in the top of the first. The 1-2. In there for a called strike 3. Carter Fink sets the Americans down in order. We'll be back to see Geneva's bats for the first time today here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network. Back here, nothing ball game early at McDonough Park. Niagara Falls Americans will turn to the incoming freshman Morgan Shanneman will make his second start and his fourth appearance on the season in Game 2 today. In his last start, Shanneman won 5 complete, allowing 5 earned runs on 8 hits and struck out his season-high 4 batters. In 9 2/3 inning pitch on the season, the Myerstown, PA native has allowed 8 earned runs and walked 5 while striking out 8. The first pitch of his day is grounded to the shortstop Miles Ooh, who will have to try to make a play on the left side, but that ball is going to kick past him as Liam Chapman advances to first. See how they plan to score it. James Nunnally will now step into the plate. He'll be playing center field today. Looks like they will advance Chapman on the E6. So now there's a runner on first for Morgan Shanneman. Mo comes set with a close stance. That pitch to Nunnally misses outside. 1-0. Let's set the defense for you for the Niagara Falls Americans. Outfield left to right is Nick Moniel, Jake Hollins, and Sam Heim getting the start in right. He's playing extremely deep. Only a few steps shy of the wall. That 1-0 misses in the same spot. 2-0 to James Nunnally. Vinny Morrow will get the start at third. Miles Ooh has really become an everyday shortstop for the Americans. That's where he is today. Dom Mariani playing second. The 2-0 to Nunnally misses upstairs. 3-0 count to the Geneva center fielder. Dalton Harper will be getting his first start at first base. And Michael Huff will be the battery mate for Morgan Shanneman. The Americans now at 5-12. The 3-0 in there for a called strike. Geneva just advanced to 6-8 earlier on today. And the only game that has been completed between these two teams. Shanneman gets his sign. He comes set at the belt. The 3-1 to James Nunnally. Runner goes. Pitch outside. Ball 4. So an error and a walk have 2 runners on for Geneva in the home half of the first. That will bring up Joe Tiroli. Tiroli on the season hitting .256. He is 11 for 43. He'll be the designated hitter in this one. That pitch from Shanneman is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Cut the inside part of the zone. Tiroli has 4 doubles, a pair of RBI, and he's also walked 5 times. A big lead off of second as that pitch is foul, tipped into the glove of Michael Huff. Liam Chapman leading off of second. James Nunnally over at first. No outs here in the home half of the first. The lights are on, but the sun's still out. They're yet to take hold. We may see them later on, but really going to get about 2 hours of game time for the 7-inning contest. That ball is fouled down the left field line. And we will do the 0-2 again, with this being a doubleheader. All PGCBL games as doubleheaders are 7-inning games. First game was originally slated as game 1 of a doubleheader back on June the 9th. So that game, we only had to play 4 innings. Runners go. That ball is popped up. Second baseman Dom Mariani moving back. That one's going to fall in front of Jake Hollins in center field. Throw home is high. The runner will stay at third. Chapman, that is. As Joe Tiroli picks up the first single of the day between either side. And now the bases are full of Geneva Red Wings. Chapman had a pretty good jump off of second base, but he elected to stay at third for Aiden Alsobrooks. He is the extra hitter. He was playing center field in game 1 of this one, but the bases are loaded with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Mo comes set at the belt. First pitch to Alsobrooks, misses upstairs, ball 1. Chapman advances on an error by the shortstop. Nunnally was walked, and Joe Tiroli picked up a single to center field, and that's how we had the bases loaded for Aiden Alsobrooks as he swings through that one. 1-1 count to number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Dalton Harper playing in front of the runner at first, as Vinny Morrow is also playing on the grass at third. That is a great changeup from Mo, working arm side, getting Alsobrooks to swing through it. Now we have a 1-2 count, a big strikeout here if Shanneman can blow this one by Alsobrooks. The middle infield playing in double play depth with the bases loaded. The 1-2. In there, called strike 3. Morgan Shanneman picks up his first strikeout of the day of the looking variety, and there is one away here in the bottom of the first. We talked about that's a huge strikeout for Mo to try to work out of this little jam he's found himself in here early on. So with one away, that'll bring up the catcher, Zach Butler. Butler on the season hitting a $160. First pitch to him is fouled off the catcher, Mike Huff. It'll be a 0-1 count. Butler has recorded 4 hits in 25 at-bats. Pair of RBI and around 3 walks this season as well. Chapman at third, Nunnally at second, Tiroli at first. Shanneman comes set the 0-1. Upstairs, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bo gets a sign he likes. He comes set, checks the runners at second and third. That pitch is a great breaker from the right-hander, and the count is now 1-2. He was able to get Zach Butler out on the front foot. And now Mo looks to pick up another big strikeout. He comes set. The 1-2 delivery to Zach Butler. Misses upstairs, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Butler electing to choke up on the Victus bat and move ever so slightly up in the box. There's quite a big hole in that right-handed batter's box. His toe is nearly down. The 2-2 to Butler is chopped to shortstop. Miles will have to play it in the hole. Throw over to first. Not in time. Ball gets past Harper on the bad throw. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. It's now 2-0 Geneva here in the home half of the second. In hindsight, probably should have held on that one as Zach Butler had already had that one beat. Most likely an infield single plus an error as Tiroli advances to third and Butler advances to second. As in steps Isaac Vanderwild. He'll look at ball 1 upstairs. 1-0 count, one away here in the bottom of the first. Butler at second, Tiroli at third. 2 runs have already come in to score. The 1-0 misses outside from Shannon as he looks at his fingers. That one slipped out arm side. 2 hits for Geneva. From Butler and Tiroli. Shannon comes set. The 2-0 is line foul down the right field line. Off the bat of Vanderwild. Isaac from St. John, Indiana, 6'1", 85 freshman. Going to the University of Virginia next season. Mo comes set. The 2-1 in there, splits the plate in half, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Virginia just made another trip down to Omaha. The Omahoos, as they like to call them, the 2-2. Is lined to center field. Jake Hollins will have to move back on it. He's going to haul it in. Tiroli's going to tag up at third. He will score standing up. It's now 3-0 Geneva. A good at-bat there from Vanderwild. Allows Tiroli to score. Zach Butler remains at second base. As in steps the shortstop, Cooper Loyal. Loyal from Victor, New York, a freshman from UAlbany. He'll look at ball 1 upstairs. 6'1", 185. From the same hometown as our starter today for Geneva, Carter Fink. Couple of Victor guys. A 1-0 count. In there for a called strike, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Butler being held on by the second baseman, Dom Mariani. Shanaman comes set, checks the runner at second. The 1-1 is swung on and miss. A great breaker. As Mo has really got some good stuff. He's just waiting for the stuff to hit second gear. As in his last start, he already doubled his strikeout count on the season. He went from 4 to 8 in 5 innings of work as that pitch misses outside. A good block by Huff will hold the runner, Zach Butler, at bay. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Geneva up 3-0 early. They started off game 1 7-0. They've already got a field goal here. That pitch is swung on and missed. Morgan Shannon will pick up his second strikeout of the day and the inning and will finally put away the Red Wings. 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, 1 runner left on in the bottom of the first. We'll be back here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much. Right Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
Back here at McDonough Park, the hometown Geneva Red Wings up 3-0 over the Americans early. They were set down in order was Niagara Falls in the top of the first, so that'll be 4, 5, and 6. Dalton Harper, Graydon Miller, Jake Hollins due up to face Carter Fink. As we are just waiting for our dear friend Zach Butler. He's in a pit stop right now, getting the tires on. As we said in the last broadcast, the Red Wings will host the Americans for the first time this season at McDonough Park. This begins a 3-day doubleheader stand if that's even a thing for the Red Wings. Geneva will play 6 games in the next 3 days between Niagara Falls, Auburn, and Elmira. They're already 1-0 and have a good start in Game 2 of 6 this season. As for the Americans, they will host the Newark Pilots tomorrow at Salem Magley Stadium. If you're looking for tickets, and you oughta, call our dear friend Nolan Palmer at the box office at 716-215-6161. That will bring up Dalton Harper to start off the top of the second. Harper went 1 for 1 earlier on today. He hit a fly ball to left center field that landed in front of the left fielder that he was able to get a hustle double out of. Now he faces Carter Fink. Pitch from the Victor right-hander is swung on and missed. A nice breaking ball there from Carter. We've seen him use it a couple times to get ahead of these American batters. The 0-1 to Harper is the same kind of pitch that misses outside. He goes to the well one more time. This time for ball 1, a 1-1 count to the Buffalo, New York native. Carter Fink from the windup, the 1-1. It's fouled down the right field line. And the count is now 1-2. Dalton Harper now leading the teams in 13 hits. He came in today hitting .364. So he has already added on to that average. The 1-2 from Fink misses outside as Zach Butler was set up quite a ways outside of the zone. Count now 2-2. The pitch to Harper. In there for a called strike. He froze him on a fastball. Carter Fink's second strikeout of the day. And there is a one away here in the top of the second. A great setup. And Carter did a great job of complimenting his own pitches there. Couple of breaking balls to start out the at-bat. Comes back with a changeup, another breaker outside, and then froze Harper on the fastball in the outer corner. Now he faces Graydon Miller, who will be the designated hitter today. Coming into the park, Miller was tied for the team leading hits at a dozen as that pitch is fouled straight back. Dalton Harper added on one for good luck for the Baker's dozen earlier on today. Oh, 1-1 count. The Ozark, Missouri native representing Drury University. That fastball splits the plate in half, and now Carter is really working. He has got some moxie on the mound. One out here in the top of the second. The Americans down 3-0 to the Red Wings. Fink gets a sign he likes. He's working quickly. The 1-2 is fouled straight back as Miller just wastes that one. On the season, he's second on the team, hitting .333. That's 12 hits and 36 at-bats, a pair of doubles, 6 RBI, and he's also worked 7 walks. Good for an .844 OPS. Very impressive from Graydon Miller, who's really turned it on lately. That 1-2 is swung on and missed. The third strikeout of the day from Carter Fink. The first of the swinging variety, and there are 2 away here in the top of the second, as now he is in a rhythm. Daps up his boy Isaac Vanderwoude at third base, and readies for Jake Hollins. Left-handed batters staring into the sun in the left center gap. Pitch to Hollins is grounded to third base. Vanderwoude, he's going to gobble it up to his left side. Throw to first is over the head of Ryan Grace. That one's going to get to the wall. Jake Hollins will advance to second. And now there is a runner in scoring position for the Americans thanks to the error. Call it an E5 on the throwing error. There's really nothing really Ryan Grace could have done over at first. And that will bring up Rex Smith. We talked about the sun. Jake elected to go with the sunglasses under the helmet. And Zach Butler back behind the plate has a real nice mask that's got the shade on the top of it. So that will bring up Rex Smith. He'll be the extra hitter today. He played third base in Game 1 of this twin bill. Fink comes set. That pitch misses outside. Ball 1. Jake Hollins, the first batter of the day for the Americans that has reached base. They went down in order in the first, and we're looking to go in that fashion once that ground ball was hit. But Jake Hollins was able to advance on the error. That pitch goes by the bat of Rex Smith. And the count is evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Smith on the season hitting .268. He's 11 for 41. Leads the team in triples at 2. The 1-1 is lined down the left field line and foul. And the count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith looking for his 5th RBI of the season with a runner in scoring position. Carter Fink gets the signs flash from Zach Butler back behind the plate. He comes set, checks Hollins at second, being held on by Bermudez. The 1-2 misses downstairs. A good block from Zach Butler will hold Jake Hollins at second. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the second with a runner on second base. Fink gets his sign. He comes set with the closed stance. The 2-2. It's fouled straight back. Good job from Rex Smith wasting that one off. And we will do it again with the deuces wild. James Nunnally is playing in that left center gap. Not really where you would think a center fielder would play on the left-handed hitting Smith, but nobody has really barreled one up against Fink quite yet. He comes set, the 2-2 delivery to Rex Smith. It's fouled off his left foot as he's really fighting Fink in this one. A good battle with 2 away. Here in the bottom of the second, Geneva holding on to a 3-0 lead. They scored 3 in the home half of the first, and they look to keep that 0 on the board against the Americans. Carter Fink gets his sign. He comes set, checks Hollins at second. The pitch downstairs. Good changeup from the right. He just misses outside. Good work from Zach Butler back behind the plate. And now the count is full. Rex Smith has already battled for a good at-bat here. He's looking to cash it in with a runner in scoring position. That is Jake Hollins. He's being held on by the second baseman, Christian Bermudez. Carter Fink shakes off a couple of signs, and Rex Smith asks for time from the home plate umpire. And we will regroup before this payoff pitch. Fink comes set at the belt, checks the runner. The 3-2 misses upstairs, and Rex Smith works one heck of a walk. He wasted off quite a few pitches from Carter there. Now there's runners on first and second. When the ball came off the bat of Jake Hollins, we thought we were in for another 1-2-3 inning for the Americans. But now with 2 away, they've got runners on first and second for Sam Heim, the right fielder. On the season, Sam is hitting .263. He is 5 for 11 in his 19 at-bats. That sweeper misses outside. Ball 1 to the North Tonawanda native. Hollins at second. Rex Smith at first. Ryan Grace, the first baseman, playing behind the runner. The 1-0 to Sam Heim is swung out and missed, as that one was blown by him, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cooper Loyal playing shaded up the middle at shortstop. The 1-1. In there for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. Carter can bump it up to 92, 93, but it's that stuff. It's a sweeper, it's a changeup where we've already seen him complement it well. And now he's got Heim on the ropes and a 1-2 count. The pitch swung out and missed. Carter Fink picks up his 4th strikeout of the day as he retires aside here in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, 2 runners left on for the Americans. We'll be right back here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much. Right
go.
Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
This summer, if you want to get yourself the latest Niagara Falls American gear, stop by Sal Magley at the merchandise stand and get some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, balls, and much, much more. Okay, one more. Here you go.
Back here at McDonough Park, the Geneva Red Wings up 3-0 over the Niagara Falls Americans.
Number 7 left fielder.
As in steps Trevor Dosenbach. It'll be 8, 9, and 10. Dosenbach, Grace, and Bermudez due up for Geneva, facing Morgan Shanneman going into his second inning work. That ball is lined to center field. Jay Collins will size it up and put it away for the first out here in the bottom of the second. And so in steps Ryan Grace. He'll be playing first base today. We saw him on the other corner at third in game 1. On the season, Grace has a pair of hits and 24 at-bats. First pitch to him misses outside, ball 1. The 1-0 from Shanneman is line foul down the first base line into the Geneva bullpen that is populated, but nobody's truly warming up. Looks like Eden also Brooks is just kind of playing a little bit of catch. The 1-1 catches the outside part of the zone, and it's now 1-2 to Grace. Shanneman from the windup on the first base side of the slab. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Shanneman picks up his third strikeout of the day. Of the swinging variety, this one is. And now there are 2 away here in the bottom of the second. What we've seen from the young Myerstown, PA native, when he gets in a groove, he is tough to hit. It's just really getting into that groove that he has struggled with early on. That brings up the second baseman, number 2, Christian Bermudez. That pitch misses outside, ball 1. As we said earlier, only had 4 strikeouts throughout his first 2 appearances, as his first appearance was his first day in Niagara Falls, as that pitch misses outside. Now 2-0 to Bermudez. He showed up to the park kind of just to say hi to the guys for the home opener, and next thing he saw himself in the bullpen warming up for his first appearance of the season against the Muck Dogs. So that pitch misses outside. The count is now 3-0. And as you've seen Mo kind of get comfortable around the guys as they've really taken him in as one of their own, and he's really starting to get more innings on the mound, he has really gotten really comfortable. The 3-0 splits the plate in half, and the count is now 3-1. And another plus for Mo is he's going to SUNY Niagara next year. So he's starting to get comfortable with the guys that he's going to be playing with at school for Coach Klingersmith. As that pitch misses, ball 4 to Christian Bermudez. It's a 2-out walk, and we'll flip the lineup back to the top to Liam Chapman, who's 0 for 1 today. Advanced on an error and later came around to score. But there really something is to be said for Mo, who is able to be playing with a lot of his teammates come the fall, getting comfortable with the area, getting comfortable with his new home stadium at Sal Magley, which is certainly a pitcher-friendly park. Mo working from the stretch now against Liam Chapman. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. 1-0. Christian Bermudez leading off at first, being held on by Dalton Harper. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Thank you for joining us here on the Niagara Falls American Network, Geneva. As that runner goes, throw down from Huff. In time, the tag. Got him! Christian Bermudez cut down by Michael Huff, as he's able to get Morgan Shanneman out of the bottom of the second. We'll return here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much.
you
Right
go.
Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
Back here at McDonough Park in Geneva, New York. The Red Wings up 3-0 here in the top of the third. I'm Carson Harper. I'm happy to be with you. I am sorry for the lack of visuals, if you will. We're fighting, as you can see, a fence and a net. But we're going to throw it back today. We'll just call it a radio broadcast. And we'll have a good time. It's a nice night here in Geneva, New York, as it will be 9-10 top for the Americans. Michael Huff, Miles Ooh, and Nick Monil due up to face Carter Fink, who, as the kids are saying right now, he's shoved. No hits, 4 strikeouts. Going into his third inning of work now, he will face the Niagara Falls backstop Huff as that pitch misses outside. Ball 1. Huff, 6'2", 200-pound redshirt freshman from North Tonawanda, New York. Just came from Western Michigan University. Now will be returning closer to home to play for the Deauville Saints. That pitch misses outside. The count is 2-0. He will join fellow American Jake Hollins come the fall. The 2-0 from Carter Fink misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. Huff was a part of the 2024 MAC champions, MAC that is, when they defeated Ball State 10-3 to advance to Lexington Regional to play the University of Kentucky. As that pitch misses upstairs, it's a 4-pitch walk to Huff to lead off this top half of the third, and that will bring up the shortstop Miles Ooh for his first at-bat of the day. And speaking of the University of Kentucky, a former teammate of mine and also a fellow Western New York ball player, Jackson Strong from Canisius University will be heading there next year. That's if he doesn't get drafted. He's playing down in Trenton for the summer in the MLB Draft League. Carter Fink comes set. The first pitch to Miles Ooh is fouled straight back, and it's an 0-1 count. Always great to see the local guys getting love on a national stage. As really Buffalo has brought itself out as a good spot for baseball. Even Western New York in general. Carter Fink, another Western New Yorker. As that pitch is swung on and missed, a nice slider from the right-hander. And now the count is 0-2 to number 2, Miles Ooh. Michael Huff leading off at first, being held on by Ryan Grace. The Americans looking for their first hit of the day. Fink comes set, the 0-2. Misses outside, ball gets to the backstop. Huff will advance on the wild pitch. The count is now 1-2. So now the job for Ooh has changed just a little bit. Just put the bat on the ball, find a little green, move Huff over for the top of this lineup. Second baseman Christian Bermudez is nearly playing up the middle, holding Huff on at second. Fink comes set at the belt, the 1-2 delivery to Ooh. Misses outside, another sweeper, and the count evens up at 2-2 strikes. Huff peering at the outfielders, Dosenbach, Nunnally, and Chapman. No outs here in the top of the third. Carter Fink comes set, the 2-2 to Ooh. Ground ball to second base. Christian Bermudez will field it in the middle of his body. Throw over to Ryan Grace at first in time for the putout, 4-3. As Michael Huff will advance to third, and now the first run of the day for the Americans is 90 feet away with one away here in the top of the third. We'll flip the lineup back up to the top for Nick Monil, who is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to his Niagara University teammate Carter Fink on the mound. 1-3 he went down. He's 0 for 1 today. Came into the park fourth on the team in batting average at .321, just 3 points shy of Jake Hollins. That pitch is in there for a called strike 1. We talked about these lefties battling the sun. Monil just told the Niagara Falls dugout, I can't see anything. Carter Fink's 3/4 arm slot is right where the sun is setting. The 0-1 misses inside. Huff will stay at third. And the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jake Hollins, earlier on in the second inning, elected to go with the sunglasses look from the left side. Niagara Falls with 3 left-handed bats in this lineup. A 1-1 count with 1 away here in the top of the third. That pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside. Good work from Zach Butler back behind the plate to keep Huff at third. A lot of these sweepers and sliders from Fink have been missing glove side, inside to the left-handed batters, and away from the righties, as that's just where the last 2 have ended up. O'Neill, 5'9", 170 freshman from Tampa, Florida, looks at a called strike 2. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miles Ooh, earlier on, we said he did his job. He moved the runner over 90 feet. As now O'Neill will choke up on the Marucci bat and look to put the ball in play. The 2-2 from Fink misses upstairs, and the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dom Mariani, the second baseman, in the on-deck circle. O'Neill waving the bat back and forth. Fink comes set. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed, but it's fouled at the last second. Pops out of the glove of Zach Butler as he was unable to squeeze it in. O'Neill, we've seen it time and time again, does just enough to stay alive from pitch to pitch. Then he'll get something that's good enough to work with and put it into play to be a productive out. The payoff pitch to Nick O'Neill is swung on and missed. Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire. Make that the 5th strikeout of the day for Fink. And now there are 2 away here in the top of the third. That was a dirty slider on the back foot of O'Neill. Got him to swing, break the plane, and now there are 2 outs here in the top of the third. That will bring up Dom Mariani. He's 0 for 2 today. He flew out to the right fielder, Liam Chapman, who made a great play down the first baseline. This one's going to be chopped. Third baseman Vanderwood is going to come on and make the throw over to first. Ryan Grace will haul it in time to retire the side. The Americans leave 1 stranded. No hit, no runs on no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on here in the top of the third. We'll be right back here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
After a hard-fought victory, there isn't nothing I want more than the best slice in Niagara Falls. Sammy's Pizza has perfected the half-tray pizza. 1400 Hyde Park Boulevard, right across from Sale Magley Stadium. Go get it for yourself.
Back here at McDonough Park, a great time to remind you if your property is located in Niagara County, was built before 1978, and has a child under the age of 6 living in the home, and you may qualify for free or low-cost assistance to make your home lead safe through the Niagara County Lead Safe Program, a federally funded program designed to help families stay safe from lead. Contact them today to see if you qualify at 716-278-8269, or visit them on the web at niagaracounty.com and search Lead Safe. And remember, this season you can connect with the Americans like never before with exclusive content on all of their social media platforms. Make sure you follow them on Facebook, Instagram, X, or Artist, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok. Morgan Shanneman still working for the Americans here in the bottom of the third, facing a 3-0 deficit. It'll be the top of this order, as Liam Chapman was at bat when Christian Bermudez was thrown out at second by Michael Huff. Caught stealing 2-4 to end the home half of the second. So Liam Chapman will get himself a fresh count, and Morgan Shanneman will be able to work from the windup. First pitch of this at-bat is in there on the outside corner for a called strike 1. 0-1 to Liam Chapman, who is 0 for 1 today. He advanced on an error in his first at-bat. That pitch splits the plate in half, and it's now 0-2. Chapman from Penn Yan, New York, 6'4", 185 freshman from SUNY Brockport. The 0-2 misses upstairs, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strike. a fellow Golden Eagle Mike Heilig on the Americans roster, the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Yes, he did. Make that the 4th strikeout of the day for Morgan Shanneman. And there is one away here in the bottom of the 3rd. That will bring up the center fielder, James Nunnally. Nunnally does not have an official at-bat today. 1 plate appearance, he worked a walk and later came around to score. That breaking ball misses downstairs. Ball 1-0 to the Geneva center fielder. Shanneman from the windup, the 1-0. In there for a call strike, catches the outside part of the zone. Count even at 1-1 strike. Geneva leading in the run column 3-0. They also have recorded 2 hits as well. That pitch catches the outside part of the zone, much to the chagrin of Nunnally. And the count is 1-2. Geneva has committed 1 error. The Americans now 2. The 1-2 misses outside. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Errors always a point of emphasis in summer baseball, but here the Americans, when they don't make an error, they're 1-1. Only 2 games this season that they have had a clean game defensively. As Nunnally calls time, they are 4-10 when they do commit an error. The 2-2 misses downstairs, and the count now moves full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nunnally on the season. Looks at ball 4 inside as he works the 2nd walk of his day. And with 1 away, there is a runner on first for Joe Tiroli. Got our first hit of the day when he singled to left field. Came around to score the 3rd run of that home half of the 1st, finding ourselves at this same 3-0 score. Big lead from Nunnally. They're going to pick him off at first. Throw over from Harper. Not in time. Harper had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. So Nunnally will get advanced to second base on the pickoff attempt. Now there's a runner on second base. With 1 away, that pitch misses outside to Tiroli, the designated hitter today. Joe on the season hitting .256, as we said. 11 for 23, looking for his 3rd RBI of the season. That pitch misses, and the count is now 2-0. To the Yardley PA native. The 2-0 is fouled straight back, and we do it again. Joe stands at 6 foot 195. Just finished his freshman year at Rider University. James Nunnally leading off of second base, being held on by the second baseman. Dom Mariani, the 2-1 is a breaking ball that catches the top part of the zone. And the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shanneman shakes off a sign, gets the one he likes, comes set at the belt. Takes a breath, the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Mo picks up his 5th strikeout of the day. And now there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. That will bring up Aiden Alsobrooks, who struck out looking in his first at-bat. The only batter set down with a backward K today for Geneva. Runner goes. Ball blocked by Huff, no throw. Nunnally will advance to 3rd. 2 outs, but James had a great jump at second base off of the young right-hander Shanneman. Either that or he knew a breaking ball was coming. Mo will return to the windup on the mound on the first base side of the slab. The 1-0 to Aiden Alsobrooks is lined up the middle. Miles Wu will field it on a big hot spin throw over to Dalton Harper at first to retire the side. Geneva goes down, no runs, no hits No errors, one runner left on here in the home half of the third. We'll return after a word from our sponsors here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
This summer, if you want to get yourself the latest Niagara Falls American gear, stop by Sal Magley at the merchandise stand and get some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, balls, and much, much more. Get one more. Here you go.
After a homer, I like me a nice cold Johnny Ryan soda. Delicious.
Back here at McDonough Park in Geneva, New York, Carson Harper, happy to be with you on a lovely Thursday evening here in the Finger Lakes region. Just saw the merchandise commercial. If you find yourself coming out to a ball game at Sal Magley Stadium, go down and see the merch pro, Joe. Because this season you can get yourself the latest Niagara Falls Americans gear. We're talking hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, warm-ups, baseballs, jerseys. We got skull caps now, and much, much more. Stop by the merchandise stand, buy concessions at any upcoming game. Tell Joe, the merch pro, that Carson Harper sent you, and get yourself some gear. Top of the fourth, Geneva up 3-0. It'll be 3-4-5 for the Americans. Vinnie Morrow, Dalton Harper, and Graydon Miller, the big bats in the heart of this lineup, looking to get something started. Each of these three were set down on strikes. Vinnie and Dalton of the looking variety, as they both got frozen. Vinnie on a breaking ball, Dalton on a fastball. Carter Fink still working on the mound. First pitch to Morrow. Misses inside under the hams. 1-0. Carter with 5 strikeouts. As that pitch is in there for a called strike. We've seen that outer part of the zone be pitcher friendly thus far. As we remind you, this is going to be a 7-inning contest. The 1-1 to Morrow is lined to left center field. That one is en route to the wall, but cut off. No, it's going to get past the left fielder, Lukenbach. Vinnie Morrow advances to second base on the single at an error. Dosenbach had a good route to it, but the ball gets under his glove, and that's how Vinnie ends up at second base. The first hit of the day for the Americans. I'm not saying I'm a homer, but we like offense here. And in steps Dalton Harper. 0 for 1 today, looking for his first hit of this ball game. That pitch in there for a called strike 1. Dalton recorded a double in game 1 of this twin bill earlier on today. The 0-1 is grounded to the third baseman. Vanderwild throw over to first in time to get Harper out on a 5-3 put out. There's one away here in the top of the fourth. Vinnie Morrow, with that ball hit in front of him, was unable to advance to third. And that brings up Graydon Miller, the designated hitter today. Was set down on strikes in his first at-bat. Now looking to add on to his RBI total this season. Fink comes set. That pitch misses outside, ball 1. Graydon on the season has knocked in 6 fellow Americans. Fink comes set. The 1-0 to Graydon Miller. Splits the plate in half, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I apologize to Trevor's family. I did say Lukenbach. I've got the Waylon Jennings song, Lukenbach, Texas, stuck in my head. As that pitch misses downstairs, it's 2-1 count. I had just read on Whiskey Riff's website that he hated the song, which actually makes me upset because it is a regular spinner in the playlist. So I apologize to the Dosenbach family. That may not be the last time, but no, it's all in good intentions. Carter Fink comes set, a 2-1 count to Graydon Miller. That pitch misses outside, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Vinny Morrow leading off of second base, being held on by the second baseman Christian Bermudez with a right-handed hitting Miller at the dish. The 3-1 misses outside, and it'll be a 1-out walk for Miller. And now there's runners on first and second for the Americans for Jake Hollins. Jake Hollins 0 for 1 today. He was the first batter to reach base for the Americans, but he advanced on an error back in the second inning. Zach Butler having a short conversation with Carter Fink with 1 away here in the top of the 4th. The Americans looking to crack that goose egg that's on the board. They put 2 across in their first inning here at the ballpark today in game 1. That pitch misses inside, ball 1 on the back foot of Hollins. Game 1, not officially the longest timed game of the season, but certainly it started on June the 9th and finally concluded just around 7:30 p.m. today. That pitch misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. That to a right-hander has been a strike today, but inside to the lefties, it has been a ball for our arbiter of balls and strikes. Vinny Morrow leading off of second. As that pitch misses downstairs, it's now a 3-0 count to number 3, Jake Hollins. With the left-handed hitting Hollins at the plate, Cooper Loyal, the shortstop, will be holding Vinny on. They're having a short little conversation at second base. First baseman Ryan Grace playing behind Graydon Miller at first. A 3-0 misses outside, and it's back-to-back walks for the Americans. That will load up the bases for Niagara Falls and Rex Smith. Rex is 0 for 0 today. He worked a walk in his first at-bat, where he fouled off a couple of pitches as the skipper for the Red Wings will come out to the mound to talk to Fink. We got a righty warming up in the bullpen. And so it looks like number 13, John Lewis, is warming up. It's a short conversation because all he said was like, hey, Carter, come be a part of history and be a part of the Niagara Falls American family. I know you're a Geneva Red Wing, but season tickets start as low as $99. He says, I know this guy Nolan Palmer at the box office. You can give him a call at 716-215-6161. Get your tickets today. We got a lot of games coming up in Niagara Falls for the month of July. 6 of the next 7 for the Americans will be at home. First pitch to Rex Smith is fouled straight back as the lights just start to take hold here at McDonough Park, just around 20 minutes shy of 9 p.m. The 0-1 is kicked out back behind Zach Butler at the plate. Vinny Morrow will score. The Americans finally get on board on that wild pitch. Graydon Miller will advance to third. Jake Hollins to second. As there are 2 more to get for Rex Smith. 1 away here in the top of the 4th. The tying run now at second base being represented by Jake Hollins. Fink from the windup, the 1-1. Misses outside, and the count is now 2-1 to the Sarasota, Florida native. Going to Santa Fe College next season. Fink peering through his glove for the sign from Zach Butler. He gets it, the windup, the 2-1. It's fouled straight back. Those back-to-back foul balls were nearly identical from Smith. He knew he missed that one as he just pulled off at the last second. The kind of foul ball that make your bat smell like burnt rubber. Carter Fink with a 2-2 count against Rex Smith. Shakes off a pair of signs and another. Now he's got the one he likes. 2-2 count to Rex Smith. Froze him, strike 3, the 6th strikeout of the day for Fink. Zach Butler will check the runner down at third, nothing doing. And now there are 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
Right fielder number 9.
That will bring up number 9, Sam Heim. He's 0 for 1 today, one of the 6 Americans that have gone down on strikes today. As finally, they not only broke the hit column, but and now the run column as well. As that pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1. Americans have put one up thanks to the wild pitch. Two outs here in the top of the 4th. 0-1 count to Sam Heim. The pitch from Fink. In there for a called strike, and now the count is 0-2. Graydon Miller leading off at third. Jake Hollins leading off at second. Fink from the hybrid windup. The 0-2 is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. The Americans with a tying run on second base. Just about halfway through this ball game. Fink from the windup, the 1-2 is grounded to the first base side. Second baseman Christian Bermudez will dive. The ball will get past him. Graydon Miller will score. Jake Hollins around third. The throw in time cuts him down. What a throw from right field from Liam Chapman. Keeps the score at 3-2. Graydon Miller came in to score as Jake Hollins was cut down at home plate. We'll be back here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
My fellow Americans, how you doing? I'm Nolan Palmer, box office manager here at the Niagara Falls Americans. You can join me all summer long for as low as $10 per game, and guess what? Kids come half off. Call us at 716-215-6161 for deals that are out of this park.
Back here at McDonough Park, if your property is located in Niagara County, was built before 1978, and has a child under the age of 6 living in the home, then you may qualify for free or low-cost assistance to make your home lead safe through the Niagara County Lead Safe program, a federally funded program designed to help families stay safe from lead. Contact us today to see if you qualify at 716-278-8269 or visit them on the web at niagaracounty.com and search Lead Safe. We got a brand new ball game, ladies and gentlemen, a 3-2 at the hands of the Geneva Red Wings. It will be 5, 6, and 7. Butler, Vanderwild, and Cooper Loyal due up to face Morgan Shannon going into his 4th inning of work. Mo from the windup. We'll have Zach Butler foul that one off. Butler is 1 for 1 today. Hit a single and advanced on an error. That pitch misses outside. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mo working quickly. That pitch just misses the outside corner. Count now 2-1. So that outside corner has been pitcher friendly thus far, but Mo unable to get that one. The 2-1 is line foul. Zach Butler doing a good job there. That ball was running in on the hands. There was nothing else that he could have done as he wastes that one. And the count is now 2-2. The pitch from Shanneman is lined in right center field. That one's going to get down for a hit. Center fielder Jake Hollins will field it off the wall. Zach Butler will stroll into second with his 2nd hit of the day. And now there is a runner in scoring position to lead off this home half of the 4th.
Batting, third baseman number 8, Isaac Vanderwood.
That'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Isaac Vanderwood. does not have an official at-bat so far today. Had a sac fly RBI. Made the game 3-0 back in the first. He's got another RBI opportunity here. As that pitch misses outside, ball one. Hammered that ball to center field. As there was no play for Jake Hollins in center. As Tiroli came in to score. That pitch clips the outside part of the zone, and the count evens up at 1-1 strike. Geneva with 3 hits on the day, matching their run total. That 1-1 misses outside. Count now at 2-1 strike. Same defense for the Americans. O'Neill in left, Hollins in center, Sam Heim in right. Vinny Morrow at third, Miles Yu at short, right behind the runner. As that pitch is swung out and missed. Vanderwild gave that one a daddy hack there. A swing off from the lefty. And the count is now 2-2 strikes. Don Mariani playing second base and Dalton Harper at first. Michael Huff still behind the plate. The 2-2 misses outside. And now the count is full at 3-2 strikes. With the shortstop Cooper Loyal in the on-deck circle. Butler leading off at second. Being held on by the shortstop, Yu. The 3-2. It's a breaking ball that Mo can't get on top of. The ball squirts away from Huff back behind the plate. As Mo keeps having trouble with that ball sneaking out of his hand a little early. Now there's runners on the corners with no outs. Butler advanced to third. And Vanderwood due first for Cooper Loyal, who's 0 for 1 today. One of the 5 batters put down on strikes from Shanneman as he starts to manicure the mound. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Geneva looking to respond to the 2 runs put up by the Americans in the top half of this inning. They've got one 90 feet away, represented by Zach Butler at third. Big lead over at first from Vanderwild. He's going to go. That ball is popped up in the infield. Vinny Morrow calling for the ball as he moves down the line. He will haul it in. And Cooper Loyal is going to have to take Vanderwild out for some dinner because Vanderwild had that bag stolen. And Cooper pops up to the third baseman for the first out of the inning. That will bring up Trevor Dosenbach. He's 0 for 1 today, lined out to the center fielder Hollins in his first at-bat for the first out of the second. Runner goes, ball in dirt, throw down. What a throw from Michael Huff will cut down Isaac Vanderwoud at second. Mike Huff now 2 for 2 throwing runners out today. What a job back behind the plate. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. That allows Morgan Shanneman to return to the windup, the 1-0. It's grounded to the first base. Dalton Harper makes a great play backhanded. He's going to win the race at first to retire the side. What a job from this Americans defense to get out of quite a jam. We remain at 3-2. We'll be back for the top half of the fifth here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much.
you
Right
go.
Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
This summer, if you want to get yourself the latest Niagara Falls American gear, stop by Sal Magley at the merchandise stand and get some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, balls, and much, much more. Okay, one more. There you go.
Back here at McDonough Park, Geneva, New York, we've got a new arm on the mound for you. Is that man that was warming up the bullpen a little bit earlier? Number 13, John Lewis from Columbus, Mississippi. 5'8" freshman from East Central Community College. This will be his second appearance on the season. In his first, he threw 2 complete innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs. He walked 1, struck 1 out, and also was awarded the win. Good for a 1.5 whip. It'll be 9-10 top for the second time today, as Michael Huff will lead us off. He's had a good day back behind the plate. Now looking to do the same at the plate. In his first at-bat, he worked a walk, but he was stranded at third to end the top of the third. Lewis working for the Red Wings. His first pitch of the day splits the plate in half for a called strike 1. The 0-1 misses downstairs. 1-1. I really thought we were going to battle with something there. I had a singular hiccup. And if you may not know, that is probably a sports broadcaster's worst nightmare. A 1-1 count to Michael Off. Downstairs, Zach Butler picks it in front of him. And the count moves to 2-1. Closing the book on Carter Fink. He went 4 complete, struck out 6, walked 4. Only allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, one of which was earned. And in the 7 innings, he is the pitcher of record right now. That pitch is swung on and missed by Huff. A good slider there from John Lewis. It really sounds like you play for the Americans, but John Lewis is a great forefather name. The 2-2 misses downstairs, and the count moves full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Huff leading off the top of the 5th. The Americans find themselves down 1. The payoff pitch to Huff is lined in the left field. That one's going to fall. Huff will pick up his second hit of the season as he leads off this top half of the 5th with a single. And he'll pass it on to Miles Ooh, who's 0 for 1 today. He had a productive 4-3 put out that advanced Huff to third base. That pitch splits the zone in half. Called strike 1, 0-1. Huff over at first, being held on by the first baseman Ryan Grace. We got an 0-1 count to Miles Ooh. John Lewis gets his sign. He comes set at the belt. The 0-1 is popped up. Shallow right field. The second baseman Christian Bermudez will put it away for the first out here in the top of the 5th. That will bring up the top of the lineup. And Nick Moniel, who is 0 for 2 today, grounded out to the pitcher and struck out swinging in his last at-bat. He didn't think he broke the plane, but the home plate umpire, the only person whose opinion matters today, said he did. Huff leading off at first, 1 away here in the top of the 5th. That pitch misses outside, ball 1, and 1-0 count to the Tampa, Florida native. The Americans looking to split this doubleheader today. They'll pick off on Michael Huff. Nothing doing. And we will await the 1-0 yet again. Geneva took game 1 10-3. They started off with a 7-0 score as that ball is lined into right field, but right in front of Liam Chapman. That ball is going to kick away. Huff will round second. Nick Moniel hot on his tail. He's going to stride into second. It'll be a single and an E9 as the Americans have doubled their hit total today. In this inning alone, they went from 2 to 4 real quick. Moniel at second, Huff at third. That will bring up the second baseman, Dom Mariani. Make that the 3rd error of the day for Geneva. That pitch to Mariani gives him a close little shave. Babyface Dom takes it for ball 1. First baseman Ryan Grace in on the grass. If there were to be a bunt, that ground ball will be fielded by the shortstop Loyal. Throw on the run in time. but Michael Huff will score. We have ourselves a tie ball game at 3. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. A RBI ground out for Dom Mariani will bring up Vinny Morrow with his fellow Purple Eagle Nick Monil over at third. The go-ahead run. We're running out of time here. We're only playing 7. We're in the top of the 5th here. First pitch to Morrow misses outside, ball 1. Lewis from the windup misses downstairs. A good block from Zach Butler will hold Monil at third. The Americans now taking the lead in the hit column. They lead that one 4-3. That pitch is flown out to right center field. James Nunnally from center field will make on the run and a sliding catch as he goes back to pick up his cat. What a play from James Nunnally in center, but not before the Americans pick up 1 run on 2 hits. 1 runner left on here in the top of the 5th. We'll be right back for the home half of this inning here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
After a hard-fought victory, there isn't nothing I want more than the best slice in Niagara Falls. Sammy's Pizza has perfected the half-tray pizza. 1400 Hyde Park Boulevard, right across from Sale Magley Stadium. Go get it for yourself.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to take this minute to thank our sponsors: Bully Hill Vineyards, Alliance Niagara Federal Credit Union, Casella, Chris Robbins, Niagara County Legislator, Coca-Cola, Davis Ulmer, First Choice FCU, Geico, Brand New Flag, Iron Workers Local 9, Johnny Ryan Soda, Laborers Local 91, National Guard, Niagara County Lead Program, Niagara Falls Teachers Union, Red Robin, Sammy's Pizzeria, Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Swift Current Eatery, Tops, Tropical Heating and Cooling, Wegmans, and Wright Beverage. Back here for the bottom of the 5th at McDonough Park, it'll be 9-10 top. Ryan Grace will grace us with his presence in the right-handed batter's box. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Morgan Shanneman still working for the Americans. That ball is lined to shallow left field. Nick Monil ranging to his left. He will make the play. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Speaking of Red Robin, these Americans went out to Red Robin down on Maple Avenue in Amherst yesterday, had themselves a ball. We'd like to shout out Red Robin for not only being a sponsor, but giving us a great meal yesterday. As that pitch catches the outside part of the zone, strike 1 to Christian Bermudez, who is 0 for 0 today. He worked a walk and then was caught stealing at second base by Mr. Huff back behind the plate. That 0-1 is cut on and missed. It's now 0-2. I'm going to tell you, these Americans, they're great at baseball, but boy, can they house some root beer floats. Brett Johnson, as that pitch misses outside. Brett Johnson took down 4 root beer floats. And I'm pretty sure that Red Robin was close to out of their vanilla ice cream. Coach Gabriel put down a pair as well. That pitch misses outside. Ball 2, 2-2 count. Coach Brick elected to go the diet soda route. But Morgan Shanneman, your pitcher on the mound today, he also put down a pair of root beer floats as that ball misses upstairs. We got a 3-2 count to Christian Bermudez. The boys ate handsomely and graciously. So thank you to Red Robin for not only being the sponsor, but also being great hosts. As Morgan Shanneman, he can put away the root beer floats and he can put away batters. His 6th strikeout of the day. There are 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll flip the lineup up to the top to Liam Chapman. Liam is 0 for 2 today. Advanced on an error to start off the day for the Red Wings. And then later struck out swinging as that pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1. As we said, 1 of 6 Red Wings put down on strikes today from Shanneman. The 0-1. Catches the outside part of the zone. And the count is now 0-2. Liam will take a second, take a deep breath and gather himself to face an 0-2 count against Mo. Shanaman from the windup with a slider that misses outside. And we will move the count to 1-2 strikes. A couple of arms have populated the bullpen, but nobody quite getting ready. A couple jumping jacks, some J-bands being done. The 1-2 is grounded at third base. Vinny Moore will field it on the big hop. Throw over to Harper in time at first. And the Geneva Red Wings will go down in order here in the home half of the fifth. We'll be right back for the top of the sixth here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
After a homer, I like me a nice cold Johnny Ryan soda. Delicious.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much.
you
Right
go.
Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
Back here in McDonough Park, Geneva, New York, the site for this PGCBL matchup, tied at 3. Dalton Harper will lead us off. Carson Harper, happy to be with you on a nice chill Thursday evening. John Lewis still working for the Red Wings. He's going to pause at the top of his windup, a la Johnny Cueto. Ball 1. 1-0 count to the Cheektowaga, New York native. He's 0 for 2 today, looking for his first hit of this ball game. The 1-0 is lined to left center field. That ball's got some legs. Warning track, and it is off the glove of the left fielder, Dosenbach. Dalton Harper will stroll into second. We'll see what they score it. That ball looked like it had a chance. Dosenbach had a long way to go as that ball went off his glove about a step shy of the foul pole. And now there's a runner on second for the Americans. They will call it a hit. So it'll be Dalton Harper's second hit, second double of the day, the first of this ball game. As now the go-ahead run is at second base. Graydon Miller now striding into the box. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out and then walked and later came around to score a run. That ball is lined into right field. It's going to fall in front of Chapman. Dalton Harper will have the stop sign thrown up from Coach Brick. And now, quickly, in 3 pitches, there are runners on the corners for the Americans as Harper advances to third for none other than Jake Collins. Jake is 0 for 1 today. He advanced on an error and was later stranded at second in the second inning, and then advanced on a walk and was cut down at the plate to end the 4th inning. John Lewis comes set. The pitch to Hollins misses outside, ball 1. Always like to thank our sponsors. Right Beverage, we just made that commercial yesterday. We're trying to promote the beer garden out at Sal Magley Stadium. The 1-0 to Jake Hollins. That ball is popped up in the infield. Second baseman Christian Bermudez will come in and put it away. It'll go off his glove. Dalton Harper will try to go home. Graydon Miller is going to try to advance to second backside, as he will be put out. So we know there's 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Extra hitter number 17, Rex Smith.
Jake Hollins advances to first on the 4th error of the ball game. 4 may seem like quite a bit, but not even close to the most that an opponent has put up against the Americans. That goes to the Batavia Muck Dogs at 7 in a 10-8 loss for the Americans at Dwyer Stadium earlier on this month. First pitch to Rex Smith. Runners on the corners. Jake Collins going to take off. Throw down third to Chuck Harper. What a pick at third base by Isaac Vanderwoud. That saved a run as Jake Collins advances on the stolen base. The infield will be brought in for Geneva. All Rex needs is a barrel here. 2 runners in scoring position. That ball has popped up over our head. The Cal moved to 1 ball and 1 strike as Rex had that bat slip out of his hands. He's going to go get some pine tar wisely from our dear friend Vinny Moore. Vinny is on top of everything. No matter where he is, he knows what's going on at all times. So Rex Smith will get some pine tar from him. We're talking about the beer garden at Sal Magley Stadium. We want to make the game great for families. You got kids. Go down and get yourself a beer. Have yourself a nice time at the Americans game. I tried one of those Niagara lagers, and I was very impressed. We've got Miller Lite, we've got Budweiser, we've got Twisted Teas. We've got an assortment of Bully Hill wines, which is also fantastic. So, go get yourself some beer garden at Sal Magley Stadium. That pitch is swung on and missed, a pitch that falls off the table from John Lewis. And now the count is 1-2 to Rex Smith. The entire infield playing on the grass. Dalton Harper at third, Jake Collins at second. Lewis from the windup, the 1-2. Inside, the ball is going to kick back to the backstop. Dalton Harper will score on the pass ball. The Americans take a 4-3 lead. First lead of the day for the Americans coming in the 6th inning. And remember, we are only playing 7 today, so this one feels like the 8th. Hollins advanced to third. The infield remains in. The 2-2 to Rex Smith is popped up foul down the third base line, and we will do it again. Graydon Miller was cut down at second base on the pop-up that was dropped by the second baseman Bermudez. That's how we are here. 1 away here in the top of the 6th. 2-2 count to Rex Smith. It has popped up. A great job from Rex. Now the second time today we've seen him waste great pitcher's pitches. John Lewis has thrown the kitchen sink at him, and he just keeps fouling it off and fouling it off. The go-ahead run has already come across to score in this inning, but there's another one 90 feet away. John Lewis looking to put away Rex Smith. The 2-2 is popped up. The third baseman, Vanderwild's going to give it a look, but he's going to run out of room. Now the third straight foul ball off the bat of Smith. As now it's firing up the Americans' dugout. Last time Rex found himself in this similar situation, he was able to work a walk. But now he wants a whole lot more, with Jake Collins leading off at third. The outfield also playing in. 2-2 delivery from John Lewis. It swung out and missed. What a changeup from the righty. His first strikeout of the day, and now there are 2 away here in the 6th. John Lewis reaches deep in the bag and pulls out one heck of a changeup and sits Smith down on strikes for the second out. That's not only a big strikeout, but allows the defense to move back in their traditional spots. With 2 away and Sam Hine now at the plate. That pitch misses downstairs. 1-0 count, Sam. 1 for 2 today. He struck out in his first at-bat and just threw the barrel at the next one in his next at-bat and got a RBI single. That pitch is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count now 2-0 to the SUNY Niagara Thunderwolf. Got one arm warming in the Niagara Falls bullpen. That ball is popped up shallow left side. That one's going to go foul. And the count will move to 2 balls and 1 strike. The center field flag is still on the pole. No breeze here in Geneva tonight, as whoever's thrown in the bullpen is blocked by the light tower. So it'll be a surprise for you and I. 2 outs here in the top of the second. John Lewis from the windup, the 2-1. Is swung on and missed. As the ball was in the glove before Sam decided to swing. And we've got a 2-2 count. John Lewis from the windup, the 2-2 delivery. Is popped up in the infield. Shortstop Cooper Loyal will call everybody off and put it away just a few strides into the outfield, but not before the Americans put another one up. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on here in the top of the 6th. We'll be right back on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
My fellow Americans, how you doing? I'm Nolan Palmer, box office manager here at the Niagara Falls Americans. You can join me all summer long for as low as $10 per game, and guess what? Kids come half off. Call us at 716-215-6161 for deals that are out of this park.
After a homer, I like me a nice cold Johnny Ryan soda. Delicious.
Back here at John Salone Field at McDonough Park in Geneva, New York. Niagara Falls Americans find themselves up 4-3 in this tight contest on a Thursday evening. Morgan Shanneman still working for the Americans. He will face 2, 3, and 4, Nunnally, Tiroli, and also Brooks for the Red Wings in the bottom of the 6th. So in strides James Nunnally. We've seen him make a couple plays in center field, but he's been a pedestrian at the plate, a pair of walks. Came around to score in the first inning. That was the second run of the day. Then advanced on a walk and stole a pair of bases back in the 3rd inning. Mo from the windup, that ball is line foul down the left field line and into the American bullpen. As we try to get a look at the arm that's warming up. Could be Michael Soares. That pitch is in there. It's now 0-2 to James Nunnally. Geneva with 6 outs to work with. Mo from the windup, the 0-2 is popped up foul. Goes in on the hands. And the count remains 0-2. Shanneman shakes off the sign, gets the one he likes, the 0-2. Inside, downstairs. Count moved to 1-2. The Americans not only leading in the run column, but have doubled the amount of hits that Geneva has had. 6-3 now. The 1-2. Line foul. And we will do it again. Shanneman from the windup, the 0-2 is popped up foul, and we'll do it again. Talking about that hit column, the fewest amount of hits that the Americans have let up has been 6 back on June the 13th when they won in Auburn against the Double Days 8-2. That was a day where Aiden Paul on the mound was having himself a day. 7 strikeouts for the Medina righty. As that pitch is hammered into right center field. Heim going back to the warning track wall. Goodbye, baseball. James Nunnally ties it up with 1 swing. It's 4-4. That ball got out of McDonough Park quickly. James Nunnally touches them all, and we are tied. A ball that was up in the zone Nunnally keeps the barrel even and drives it over the right field wall to tie the game at 4. That pitch is popped up. Dalton Harper from first base giving a look. He won't be able to put it away. This ball was barely in play by the picnic area down by the first base line. It's now 0-1. Mo from the windup. The 0-1 in there for a called strike to Joe Torelli, who's 1 for 2 today. He singled back in the first and scored the 3rd run of the day for Geneva. That pitch is swung out and missed. Now the 7th strikeout of the day for Shanneman. That is now his personal individual high today. As each time we said, as he gets more comfortable, as he gets more innings, he's getting more and more strikeouts. That pitch misses inside to Aiden Alsobrooks, who's 0 for 2 today. He struck out and grounded out. As we said, in his last start, Mo struck out 4. Now an individual high 7. As that pitch is grounded to the second baseman, Mariani will field it on his left foot. Throw over to Harper in first in time for the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up the catcher, Zach Butler, who is 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles. But he's been stranded on base both times. And looking at these team highs, the most strikeouts for a start is only 1 more than this man has on the mound. That pitch is swung on and missed. That was done by C.J. Hurley back on June the 11th versus the Newark Pilots in a 3-2 win at Sal Magley Stadium. The 0-1 is fouled off down the right field line, and the count is 0-2. Once Mo settled in after the first inning, he put up 4 zeros in a row, and since then the only blemish on his card was that home run from James Nunnally. The 0-2. In there, called strike 3, making a snowman. 8 strikeouts for Morgan Shanneman today, but not before the Geneva Red Wings tie it up on a round tripper off the bat of James Nunnally. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
This summer, if you want to get yourself the latest Niagara Falls American gear, stop by Sal Magley at the merchandise stand and get some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, balls, and much, much more. Get one more. There you go.
My fellow Americans, how you doing? I'm Nolan Palmer, box office manager here at the Niagara Falls Americans. You can join me all summer long for as low as $10 per game, and guess what? Kids come half off. Call us at 716-215-6161 for deals that are out of this park.
Back here at McDonough Park in a tie ball game here in the top of the 7th. Of course, this is a doubleheader, so this will be the final inning if this tie is broken. We've got a new arm on the mound. It'll be number 3, Michael Bokus from North Brookfield, Massachusetts. Stands at 5'10", 175. Right-hander freshman from Franklin Pierce University. Bokus will face 9-10 top for now the 3rd time today, as Sam Heim has finished the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th, respectively. But looking on the season for Bokus, will be his 7th appearance of the year. He's thrown 12 complete innings, allowed 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned. His walks and strikeouts are even at 13. He's 0 for 1 in decisions and is tied for the team lead in saves at 1. Boasts a 4.50 ERA, but a .186 batting average against. As we're just about ready for the top of the 7th and Michael Huff. Huff's 1 for 1 today. He worked a walk back in the 3rd and was stranded at 3rd. And then hit a single in his last at-bat and later came around to score to tie the game at 3.
Now batting is catcher number 18, Michael Huff.
We remain tied now at 4. Bocus, the righty from the windup, big leg kick, first pitch in there for a called strike 1. He's got the dirty mid pants with the stirrups and the big leg kick. He's about 20 mile an hour shy of Nolan Ryan, but he's got the windup down as that pitch is fouled off. Count is now 0-2 to Huff. Bocus peering through his glove for the sign. Gets the one he likes from the windup, the 0-2. It's fouled off down the right field line, and Huff stays alive, as we will do it again. And Zach Butler goes out to talk to Michael Bocus. You get the plan here. 0-2 count to Michael Huff. Bocus from the windup. Kicks and deals. Inside as that one almost got him. As the Americans remind him, he's got a bucket on his head. We got a 1-2 count. Bocus from the first base side of the slab. The 1-2. Misses upstairs, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bocus from the windup, the 2-2 to Huff. Is swung out and missed. Michael Bocus picks up his first strikeout of the day. And there's a one away here in the top of the 7th. That will bring up Miles Ooh, who is 0 for 2 today. Rounded out to the second baseman and popped up to the second baseman. First pitch to Ooh. Misses outside, a sweeper. Ball 1. Closing the book on John Lewis. He threw 2 complete innings. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. That pitch is lined down third base line. Backhand play from Vanderwild. Throw over to first. In time to put away Ooh. What a play from Isaac. He has been flashing the leather at the hot corner all day long. And does it yet again there. And now there are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that will flip the lineup back up to the top. And Nick Moniel. Moniel 1 for 3 today. Singled to right field in his last at-bat. Advanced on an error by the right fielder. That ball misses downstairs, ball 1 to Moniel. The 1-0. Upstairs in the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Moniel was stranded at third. It has a go-ahead run in the 5th inning. That pitch misses upstairs. Ball 3, 3-0 count. Let's remind you of how we got here. Geneva put up a 3 spot down in the 1st inning. And then they were held scoreless for 4 straight innings. The Americans responded with 2 in the top of the 4th. That pitch is in there for a called strike, 3-1 count. They scored a run in the 5th and the 6th inning. And then Geneva answered in the bottom of the sixth to tie us up here at 4. The 3-1 to Nick Moneill. Misses outside. Nicky Mo works a walk. And now the go-ahead run is on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. As Dominic Mariani steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. Flew out to the right fielder, then grounded out to the third baseman and the shortstop, respectively. And it's these kind of at-bats, especially personally, a lot of guys like to tell themselves, it's those guys that are 0 for 3 that become the heroes at the end of the night. Baseball works in weird ways. That pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1 to the Walpole, Mass. native. Representing Clark University. Bocus comes set, checks Moneill at first. Runner goes, throw inside, throw down. Does it get him? It does not. Oh, baby, that was a good throw from Zach Butler. But Nick Moneill slides around the tag, and now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. We've got a 1-1 count. It was a strike called on the play. Bocus gets his sign, comes set at the belt. Pigeon-toed on the mound. The 1-1 is a slider for a called strike. And now the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moneill leading off of second, being held on by Christian Bermudez. If Mariani can put a ball into the big gap just in front of right field, he could score Moneill. Bocus comes set. The 1-2 is a breaking ball, misses downstairs. Zach Butler does a good job back behind the plate to hold Moneill at second. We've got a 2-2 count with 2 away and a runner on second with our 2-hitter up at the plate. Bocus gets his sign. He comes set. The 2-2 to Mariani is grounded to first base. It gets past the first baseman. Nick Moneill will head home. The stop sign will be thrown up. I'm not a smart man, but I know situational baseball when I see it. That is a great job there from Dom Mariani, making me look smart and putting the ball on the ground to the right side. And now there are runners at the corners for Vinny Morrow. Vinny's 1 for 3 today. He struck out, and then he singled and advanced to second on the error by the left fielder. Came around to score the first run of the day. Flew out to the center fielder in his last at-bat. The go-ahead run, 90 feet away. Dom Mariani leading off at first. Pitch to Morrow is grounded up the middle. It goes over the head of the pitcher. The shortstop, Loyal, will make a great play over at first to leave 2 stranded on the bases for the Americans. We go to the home half of the 7th, tied at 4. We'll be right back here on the Niagara Falls Americans Network.
My fellow Americans, how you doing? I'm Nolan Palmer, box office manager here at the Niagara Falls Americans. You can join me all summer long for as low as $10 per game, and guess what? Kids come half off. Call us at 716-215-6161 for deals that are out of this park.
There's nothing more American than cracking open a cold one at a baseball game. And here at the Sal Magley Beer Garden, thanks to Right Beverage, we have all of your favorite choices. Say, Nolan, what do we have?
Funny you should ask, Alan. We got my favorite Bully Hill wine, the Sweet Walter White. We got some Twisted Teas, some Canadian Molson, some Miller Lite, personally my favorite, some Coors, and the Woodcock Rose Lager, Niagara Lager. What can I get you?
You know what? Give me one of those Niagara lagers.
Good choice, boss.
Thank you very much.
you
Right
go.
Beverage is a proud sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Come out to the beer garden and get yourself your own.
Back here for the bottom of the 7th, the Americans elect to go to the bullpen, and they will give the ball to Michael Soares. Soares, 6'2", 205 sophomore from Concord, Mass., representing Clark University. This will be his second appearance. He's thrown 2 1/3 innings. Allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and struck out 4 Batavia Muck Dogs in his first appearance of the season. He also is tied in the team lead in saves, which is 1, but here he looks for a hold. He will face 6, 7, and 8 Isaac Vanderwild, Cooper Loyal, and Trevor Dosenbach due up here in the home half of the 7th. Vanderwild has had himself a wonderful day at third, but he's 0 for 1 at the plate. First pitch of Soares' day, misses upstairs, ball 1. Vanderwild does have an RBI when he hit a sac fly RBI to score Joe Tiroli for the 3rd run of the day back in the 1st inning. Now he faces a 2-0 count against Soares. Soares is a 2-way at Clark, so he's going to get some innings on the mound this season for the Americans. That pitch is in there, called strike, 2-1 count. Soares comes set, the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Good pitch from Michael. And the count evens up at 2-2. Michael to Michael. Battery mates. Soares on the mound, Huff behind the plate. Mike comes set at the belt. The 2-2 to Vanderwild is swung out and missed. A beautiful changeup from Mike. And there is 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. That brings up Cooper Loyal, who is 0 for 2 today. He struck out and popped out to the third baseman Morrow in his second at-bat. Soares comes set. That pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. Closing the book on Morgan Shanneman. He went 6 complete, which is now a personal high. Struck out 8, which is a personal high. Walked 4, allowed 4 hits, and 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned. As Loyal looks at ball 2 inside, 2-0 count, with 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. That pitch under the hands of Loyal, and the count is now 3-0. Soares comes set, the 3-0. Misses upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Cooper Loyal. And now the go-ahead run is at first. The Americans have not had great fortunes in one-run games so far this season. They are 1-4 in those situations. That ball has popped up in the infield. Don Mariani will have to come in from second base. He will make the play as he nearly went bum over tea kettle. But now there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up Ryan Grace. Ryan is 0 for 2 today. He struck out and flew out to the right fielder in his last at-bat. But now he has the go-ahead run leading off of first, being held on by Dalton Harper. That ball has popped up. Miles Ooh ranging into the outfield from a shortstop position. He puts it away, and we will go to extras. We're tied at 4. We'll be right back after a short word from our sponsors.
My fellow Americans, how you doing? I'm Nolan Palmer, box office manager here at the Niagara Falls American. You can join me all summer long for as low as $10 per game, and guess what? Kids come half off. Call us at 716-215-6161 for deals that are out of this park.
This summer, if you want to get yourself the latest Niagara Falls American gear, stop by Sal Magley at the merchandise stand and get some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, balls, and much, much more. Get one more. There you go.
Back here at McDonough Park, Geneva, New York. Beautiful sunset just behind the trees. As we are technically in extra innings, this being a doubleheader, was a 7-inning ball game, but we're going to need 8 to decide this one. And with all PGCBL games, extra innings start with a runner on second. That runner is the last out of the previous inning. That will be Vinny Morrow. So, to the advantage of the Americans, you have an extremely smart base runner in scoring position, and the heart of your order 4, 5, and 6 due up. Dalton Harper will stride into the box. He doubled off of the left field wall in his last at-bat. He faces Bokus, who comes set, checks Morrow at second. Pitch to Harper. Inside corner for a called strike 1. 0-1 to the Cheektowaga, New York native. Bokus comes set at the belt. The 0-1. Misses outside and the count evens up. They had 1 ball and 1 strike. The Americans left the go-ahead run on third base last inning. Now it stands just 180 feet away. Bokus comes set, the 1-1 to Harper. Ground ball to the shortstop, Cooper Loyal. He's going to field it in front of him. Throw over to first in time. What a stretch from Ryan Grace. And there is 1 away here in the top of the 8th. That'll bring up Graydon Miller. Graydon is 1 for 3 today. He's come around to score a run in the 4th inning after he walked and singled in his last at-bat. He's looking for another one here. Bokus comes set. Vinny Morrow will go. The throw down to third. No throw. Vinny Morrow advances on the stolen base. And now the winning run is just 90 feet away. The ball got away from Zet Butler on the transfer. 0-1 count to Graydon Miller. The infield brought in. The pitch fouled off. And the count is now 0-2 to Miller. Graydon Miller, we just found out that he can do a handstand walk. It'd be awesome if he could handstand walk down first base after a home run. The 0-2 count to Miller. Frozen. Strike 3. What a pitch from Bokus. And there are 2 away here in the top of the 8th. That will bring up Jake Hollins. The go-ahead run now for the 2nd straight inning, just 90 feet away. Bokus comes set. The pitch, line drive, left field. Trevor Dosenbach going back. He will haul it in. Bokus tight ropes out of danger. And we remain tied. We will be back here after the Americans go down in order in the top of the 8th. We'll be back on the Niagara Falls Americans Network for the finale of this one from McDonough Park.
After a hard-fought victory, there isn't nothing I want more than the best slice in Niagara Falls. Sammy's Pizza has perfected the half-tray pizza. 1400 Hyde Park Boulevard, right across from Sale Magley Stadium. Go get it for yourself.
Back here at McDonough Park, we are tied at 4. The Americans cannot win this ball game, but they don't have to lose. So we'll just leave it at that. Geneva, they will have a runner on second, as this is extra innings. That runner on second will be Ryan Grace. Will they keep him out there? Looks like number 16's been brought in as a pinch runner. And that will be Colin Boyd at second base for Ryan Grace. Who now stands 180 feet away, representing the winning run. The Americans are 0-1 in extra innings. Last time that they needed extra frames to finish a game was down in Jamestown on June the 8th, where they lost 6-5 to the Tarp Skunks on a walk-off walk. It will be Liam Chapman due up for Geneva. That pitch is popped up to right field. Don Mariani ranging back. He will haul it in for the first out here in the 8th. Gabriel elects, Coach Gabriel that is, elects to put on Christian Bermudez via the walk. One away here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings in the traditional double play. But it also brought up the top of the lineup. That was Liam Chapman, who just flew out. James Nunnally now steps into the box. Last time he was at the plate, he touched them all. That pitch misses outside. Ball 1. Boyd at second. Bermudez at first. Nunnally was 1 for 1 today at the plate. The 1-0. Line foul. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Americans just hoping for a tie. Geneva looking to sweep this doubleheader and then become 1 game behind 500 at 7-8. They're 6-8 right now. Suarez comes set. The 1-1 to Nunnally is fouled down the left field line, and the count is now 1-2. The winning run at second base being represented by Colin Boyd. Suarez from the first base side of the slab. Gets his sign. He comes set at the belt. Checks Boyd at second. The 1-2 is a ground ball to the first base side. Dalton Harper will body it up. Throw over to Michael Suarez at first in time. There are 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, but it's a productive out nonetheless. Boyd advances to third. Bermudez at second, as Nunnally goes down 3-1 for the second out. We said Dalton Harper is a catcher by trade. Doesn't often play first base. He went to what he knows best. He bodied it up off the chest. And a little PFP action for out number 2. That brings up Joe Tiroli. Joe's already got a hit today as he fouls that one straight back. 0-1. Joe looking for his 3rd RBI of the season, just 90 feet away. Suarez gets his sign. He comes set. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. And now Geneva is down to their last strike. Tiroli has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. Suarez looking to keep the score right where it is. Boyd at third. Bermudez at second. The 1-2 misses outside. And we are even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Suarez gets his sign, comes set at the belt. The 2-2 is popped up over our head. And we will do it again. Boy, howdy. I'm losing my voice yet again. It's a long season. We've had a long day. A lot of stress. Tie ball game. Geneva down to the last strike. The 2-2 Swung on and missed. Michael Suarez closes the door. And he picks up his second strikeout of the ball game. That will be it tonight from McDonough Park. The first game ended in a 10-3 victory for the Geneva Red Wings. This one ends in a 4-4 tie. The Americans now at 6-11-1 on the season. Geneva 6-8-1. Geneva will head out to Auburn for a doubleheader tomorrow. Goodness gracious. And then they will host the Elmira Pioneers here on June the 29th. For your Americans, you can head out to Sal Magley Stadium tomorrow night where we face the Newark Pilots. Then on Saturday, they head out to Batavia, take on the Muck Dogs. Then they have a nice little 5-game home stretch, starting with the Elmira doubleheader on Sunday. Then they host Batavia on the 1st and Auburn on the 3rd. I'm Carson Harper. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me. We'll see you tomorrow on the Niagara Falls Americans Network. Again, your final tonight, a tie between the Red Wings and the Americans, 4-4. Thank you for spending your night with us, and take care.